Chosen Vessels, what's the deal? It's your main man Drutube, and I'm back at you again with another video. Let's get right into it. Stop blaming others and take control of your affairs. You're misusing your power and giving it to them. Let's get right into it. All right, when you will blame somebody else for something that happens in your life, you are misusing your power. When you feel that somebody else is the result of something that you're doing and you can't get it done, or you can't achieve it, or you can't put yourself in position because of what someone else is doing, you are at the weakest point in your mindset or life or reality, whatever you want to call it, that you could be in. And you're in self-pity mode and you need to get out of it. There are times when people make things physically hard for us to do things. They may take something we need, misplace something we need, replace something we need, put something somewhere where else where it's not supposed to be so you can't find it. Understand all that, but still, you cannot make people be the reason why things don't happen for you in your life. Don't make excuses and use people as an excuse. People are not that powerful. People are not strong enough to make you not be able to do what it is you need to do. You can get it done. You have to stay focused. You have to prioritize. You have to make things important. Things have to be extremely important to you. If you are not putting uh, whatever it is you want to do first, and are complaining and putting somebody else between you and your ability to get something done, and making them the cause for the reason why you are not getting it done, that's weak. That's complaining. That's wasting time, still not getting it done. What you have to do is you have to make enough time for the things that you need to get done and get them done. Don't use other people as a scapegoat. Don't use your job as an excuse. Don't use your children as an excuse. Don't use anyone as an excuse. All right. Don't use family. Don't use friends. Don't use people you're close to. Anybody. Nobody is nobody's fault for the reason why you're not getting done what you're supposed to get done. You have to stay focused and you have to do what's important. You have to manage your time wisely, and you have to take the amount of time that you have to do the things you need to do. You have to take that serious, and you have to prioritize that time for those specific reasons, for those so that you can get those specific things done. All right, I'm so eager to get this thing done. I'm trying to get the words out right. But look, it's up to you whether you choose to get something done or not. All right. It's not anybody else's fault why you don't. It's not anybody else's fault that you don't. Nobody can truly get in the way of your success. Nobody can really stop you from becoming successful and doing what it is you want to do. You have to wrap your mind around the prioritization of things you want to do, things you put first. What are you putting first? What are you making important to you? All right, what is something that you put so much emphasis on getting it done, you won't stop your day or end your day until you complete it. You'll take other things that you would like to do and put it behind it because you want to get this done so bad. You have a eager desire to get this done. You have a sense of urgency to get this done. It has to be something that you want to do so bad that you're willing to make sacrifices and put an energy behind it, and put a thought process behind it and a mindset behind it, to where you will not do anything before you get this done. You will put everything aside to get this done. You will make sure that before you do anything that is fun, or anything that is relaxing, or anything to enjoy yourself, you will get this done. You're not going to put anything in front of this. You're not going to wait and procrastinate and do it later. You're going to do it now because you realize that it's better for you to get things done than to wait. All right. You realize it's better to get things done now than to wait. All right. So if you wait, if you put it off, you only have yourself to blame. If you are going out instead of working on something, and you chose to waste your time beforehand and not do what it was you were supposed to do, then that's your problem. You can't put things on other people. You can't blame other people. You can't blame the people at your job. You can't blame anybody why things aren't going the way they're supposed to go for you. You can make whatever it is happen that you want to happen. You can create whatever it is you want to create. People have ample amount of time to get things done. Everybody has enough time to get things done. It's just people don't want to make sacrifices. People rather watch a dog run for 70 seconds to catch a bone in its mouth rather than to use that time to educate themselves or to get something done or to do a quick workout or to prepare a healthy meal or lunch or whatever it is you need to do, to pray, to meditate, to read, to study. People have enough time for these things. It's just they're not making enough time for these things. And sometimes when we don't make time for things, we end up making excuses. And you just have to keep it real with yourself. So that way, that's something that you don't do. And you don't want to use other people as a scapegoat and make excuses. Making excuses and making other people the fault for why you don't get things done is one of the weakest things you could do. It's one of the worst things you could do for self-development or self-improvement, and you'll stay stuck and you won't get where you need to go. One, because you're putting negative energy out on other people, which isn't good. And two, because you're not taking responsibility for your part in your life and your actions and all these things that are imperative to a person's growth. You have to see what you're doing wrong. You have to see what mistakes you're making. You have to see what you're not doing right. So that way you can pay enough attention to yourself and make the corrections you need to make on yourself. So that way you could be as fixed as you possibly can, and that way you could be doing everything you need to do right. So that way there's no way you could put the blame on anybody else, or it could be anybody's fault, or it could be anybody else could be your problem or anything like that. You have to be putting in enough work, and you have to be using your time to the best you could possibly use it. All right, I'm really trying to get this one out, if you can't tell. All right, but you have to make the best use of your time as you possibly can. And how you do that is you're going to have to make sacrifices. All right. You can make time for everything that you want to make time for throughout the day. All you have to do is just take the method of laying a brick each day. And it's good to concentrate on one goal at a time. But if you have things that you want to achieve, like long-term goals, it's probably okay to do something like a little bit each day in certain areas. Obviously, it's okay, but for the overthinkers out there, it's nothing to stress about. For the short term goals, it's best to do one of those and keep that, because that's probably like a day to it's just, they're all day-to-day goals, but the short-term goals is best to just take one of those at a time, because it's a short-term goal. But your long-term goals, obviously you could kind of pile some of those up and take a chunk out of each of those each and every day. And that's what you should be doing with the little bit of time spaces that you have in between things that you have to do and things that you need to get done. Because I don't care what a person says, you have enough time to do what it is you want to do. People just get caught up in not making time for the things that they're supposed to be doing. And if you want to be successful, you have to make time for the things that you're supposed to be doing, even when you don't feel like it, even when you don't want to, even when you're relaxed and you don't feel like getting up and you're tired and you just ate you a good meal or something, and you still got to get up and go do it. Oh man, I done worked all day and this, that, and the other, and took care of this and picked up this one and dropped off that one and paid all this, and you still got to go do it. You still have to find it within yourself to accomplish the goals that you set out for yourself. And people get comfortable, people get relaxed, people get set in their ways, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you have something that you want to accomplish, and if you have something that you want to achieve, something that you don't want to leave this earth without you getting it done, you owe it to yourself to put in enough time to be able to make that a reality. and you can make it a reality, but you have to manage your time to the best of your ability. And the people who manage their time to the best of their ability are the people who get the most out of their time. They get the most out of themselves. They get the most out of their day, and they usually end up getting the most success. So like I just remember hearing one day that like I don't know if I read it in one of the magazines in the bathroom at my parents' house or something, because you know how moms always keep magazines in the bathroom and whatnot. And I was just looking at it, and it said like something, just just being bored. It said this person that they were talking about had the same amount of hours as somebody in a day. Like everybody has the same amount of hours in a day. It was an Oprah magazine, all right? And yeah, that's what it was. My mom always had them in the bathroom, and I was just looking through that joint because it had a nice house on the front. And I was looking at it, and I just remember always hearing that she had a lot of money and she was successful. And I would look in the magazine, and I just remember looking at these homes, and that was always fun. But not only, and I suggest you get you some home magazines and look through them too, and pick you out a good home. But I just remember seeing it was talking about Oprah, and it was like, yo, she got the same amount of hours in the day as everybody else. And that just was something that stuck with me, because it's like, yo, everybody has the same amount of hours in the day. Just because someone is more successful or more rich or has more wealth or more time on their hands as far as their career or profession, or more time to themselves, really. But everybody has the same amount of hours in a day. And like I said, that's just something that always stuck with me. And what stood out to me about that is you have to get the most amount of time out of your day. And if you truly want to do that, you truly can do that. It may take a little bit more effort out of you. It may take a little bit more time from things you enjoy doing, things you like to do, things you like to, you like to chill, kick your feet up and watch this, play that, listen to this, sit outside and that, and all that. I understand that. But you have to fit in time for the things that you owe it to yourself, that you told yourself that you really want to see happen. Because that inner child in you told you to do those things because it knew that it would make you feel more lively, a more happier, more vibrant person. All right. So when you listen to that version of, when you listen to your inner self, and it's like, hey, let's accomplish this, let's do this, let's get this. That's your spirit wanting to have that happen. And when you procrastinate on things, that's how people actually really become depressed, because you're not feeding your soul, you're not feeding your mind with the achievement and the not knowing, then the finding out and the figuring out, and the process of becoming successful. um it's a lot that comes along with that. And when you deny yourself success, or deny yourself the belief that you owe yourself to accomplish things, it's just a whole lot of things that the life is missing when it's not going after what it truly should be going after, what it wants for itself, what it believes it deserves. That's the whole meaning behind being fulfilled and unfulfilled. You want to be fulfilled. All right. So, and you can only be fulfilled by holding yourself accountable and not blaming other people. Blaming other people will hold you back. It takes the focus off yourself. It makes you procrastinate because you think someone else is the problem and not you. The problem really is you, and not putting in enough time and effort. People can be difficult. People can be annoying. People can get on our nerves, but they're not the reason for anything. They're not the reason for us not being able to make it. They're not the reason for us not being able to become successful. They're not the reason for us not being able to have what we want in life. That's a us time thing. That's a us time recreation thing. There are things that you can do in your off time. There are things that you should be using off time for, to get ahead, to achieve more success. And sometimes we just don't realize how much work we really have to put into something. And that's why it may appear to people that a person is playing around, and you don't want to be playing around. Because if you're blaming other people, if you're saying, well, this person is the reason for this and that person is the reason for that, there may be a lot of truth to that, and I'm not taking none of that from you. But sooner or later, you have to hold yourself accountable and be responsible and get things done, and see that you get them done, so that way you can achieve success, so that way you can complete your goal and get what you want, because that's what life is all about. Life is about seeing what you want, working towards getting it, creating something that may aid you in that process, or working, getting yourself right, getting your resources right, getting your mind right, getting your wealth right, money right, so that way you can one day achieve a certain lifestyle. So blaming other people is not going to help you do that. All right. Blaming other people is just not going to help you do that. If you're blaming other people, you're taking time off of good thoughts you could be thinking about yourself. If you're blaming other people, that's time you could be affirming the life you want. If you're blaming other people, that's time you could be taking your mind off of that and actually putting it on what you want. And we're going to get to that right now. Blaming other people takes your mind off of the good that you deserve. It takes your mind off of the good that you desire. It takes your mind off of what you're supposed to be focused on. Blaming other people robs you of your greatness. It robs you of your success. It robs you of your positive energy. It drains. It's you draining you. Blaming people is for things that happen to you in your life that you have control over is one of the worst things you can do. All right, you don't want to blame people for things in your life that you have control over, because your focus is going to be misguided, misdirected. You're not going to be paying attention to the right things. And if you want to be successful, you have to pay attention to the right things. This is a you time issue. This isn't a other people getting in the way issue. This is you making the best of your time when you have it, to use it to stay focused and to not play around. All right, if you really want to be somebody, you really have to not play around. You really have to buckle down. You really have to put on a certain amount of focus. You really have to get your mind directed in the way to where you want it to be. All right, you have to direct your mind where you want it to be, away from the social media, away from watching videos, away from listening to music, away from just watching TV and listening to positive videos, listening to some type of tape, reading some kind of book, educating yourself some kind of way in the area that you want to be successful in. That's what using your time is for. Educating yourself in the area you want to be successful in. Because I know you want, if you watch my videos, you want more out of life. You know you deserve more out of life. Blaming other people is not the game to play. Success is the game to play. Time management is the game to play. Doing what you told yourself you were going to do and actually completing that objective for today is the game to play. All right, you want to be able to have the life that you always dreamed of, that you always wanted, but it comes down to you using your time, doing what you told yourself you were going to do, doing what is necessary for you to do, and making it happen. And that's really all it is. No, not talking about it, not speaking about it, not dreaming about it. Just hardcore, just work ethic, getting it done, making things happen, doing what you know you need to do, the studying, the research, the looking up, the reading, the working, all of it, the creating, all of it. So is really no excuses. All right, it's no excuse. It's no reason why a person can't become successful. Really, if you have something that's in the way, it's most likely something that you're not seeing, that is something that you're doing. You're not managing your time right. You're not doing something efficiently enough. Maybe you skipped a step. Maybe you overlooked something. But it's not as much outward forces as you might think it might be. Yes, there are outward forces. Yes, there's opposition. Yes, there's demons. There's energy vampires, gang stalkers. Everything is out there that could possibly get in, anything that can get in your way, that wants to get in your way is out there. But it's not stronger than you and it can't stop you. So you just have to be able to see yourself being able to get past it. Because I mean, if you've gotten to this point in the video, then I already know where your mind is at. But anyone that is blaming someone, or blaming a society, or blaming outward forces because they're not achieving anything or can't get anywhere, I'm sure there is a lot of validity towards what the person is saying. I'm not taking anything away from it. There are people who have harsher realities. There are people who have harsher circumstances. There are people who are going through the most. All right, there are people that are living in poverty and poverty stricken. All right, I know I talk about being wealthy and poverty. a wealthy mindset and all those things, but I'm not disregarding anybody's personal experience. But what I am doing is letting people know that they could change their mindset and look past that. That is there. That is a reality for some people, but don't use it as an excuse. Don't use it as a scapegoat, and look past that. Look past the people that are causing you problems. Look past the people that want to get in your way. Look past the people who are trying to make it hard and difficult for you to get what you need, because you still got to get what you need. Still got to accomplish goals. You still have to live your life, and you still have to figure out a way, find a way for yourself to succeed. All right. There may be people who do things to cause difficulties. There may be people who do things to make things harder for you than other people. There may be those who are trying to make you quit and get you to go somewhere else. Don't give up. Continue to find something. Continue to know there's something out there for you, and things are going to work out for you. All right. Those who people who are always trying to give a harder time is because they see that things are working out for you. They see that things are easy for you. You probably even had somebody tell you that things are easier for you. Things always work out for you. You probably even had someone told you that and you didn't even understand why they were saying it. But people see the good things that work out for you in your life. They see it. Don't blame anybody else. It's not anybody else's fault why you're not where you want to be. It's not your mom's fault, your dad's fault. It's not anybody's fault for why you're not where you want to be. All right. It's not your job's fault. It's not nobody's fault why you're not where you want to be. You have power over your life. There may have been some things that happened that shouldn't have happened. Some people may have said some things that weren't the best for you to have heard. People may have done some things that weren't good, that weren't right, but we got to get over all of that so that way we could have what we truly deserve. We grow from certain things, we evolve from certain things, and we move forward. They may not have done you right at that job. They may have stabbed you in the back. They may have lied on you. They may have done certain things that weren't right, treated you horribly. But the thing is, that's not something that can stop you from making decisions and choices on what you are going to do with your life and how you're going to live it from this point out. You are the person that's in control of your individual life, and you have the power to do with it what you will, and you have the power to do with it what you want. So you have to start making some decisions that are aimed towards that are aimed towards certain goals, that are aimed towards uh, using your time to get you to a better place in life, so that way you can have better things. I wouldn't want to waste my time blaming anybody else. Instead of putting blame on other people, take that anger and use it to work. Take that misguided thought and turn it into a direction towards what you want to be. All right. So anything that's making you blame anyone, anything that's making you look at anyone like it's their fault, anything that's making you point the finger, take that energy and use it to create something, to work on something, to educate yourself, to better yourself. Use that energy right there and that time right there, which you'll never get back, pointing the finger at someone else, to elevate your life, elevate your reality to a better one, because that time is precious. You could be using it to make something, to be better, to do better. You can use that time to actually teach yourself something and learn more skills, so that way you could get paid more and you could make more money, and you could not potentially have to go back around people that are difficult to be around, that make you have to be a superhuman to be around. You could use that energy. You could even take that energy and use that for being super for another way in your own life, that doesn't have to deal with you defending yourself directly against toxic people in a place that you have to be placed at for a certain amount of hours every day. And that right there alone motivated me to want to have more and want to have better for myself. And I'm pretty sure it does the same for you. So excuses, that's not something you want to do. Blaming other people is not something you want to do. Staying stuck in the past, making people be at fault for things that are not going the way you want with your life is not something you want to do. You want to take that energy and put it towards construction, put it towards productivity, put it towards positivity. You want to use that energy the best way you possibly can, and use your mind and your thoughts and your time the best way you possibly can, because you don't want to waste it complaining, pointing the finger, blaming, saying somebody else is the reason why you're not getting something done when you're the reason why you can get everything done. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace, love, and light. We out.